1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, everyone. It's Enjoy English School. Yo! Today is February 2nd. We're on pages 10 and 11. And we're talking about the book club. It's day 2 of Coraline, a book and a movie I really enjoy.
没错。今天呢，我跟那个 Chris 老师要继续介绍我们昨天介绍的第14道门。好，这部非常非常棒的这个书还有电影，我们昨天简单讲了一下这个情节嘛。首先呢，就是这个 Coraline 我们的主角呢跟他爸妈搬到一个新的地方，然后爸妈都很忙，没有时间顾他，于是呢这个主角 Coraline 就在这个新家里面去找到了一个暗门，然后这个暗门呢不小心通往另一个世界，在另外一个世界里头也有另外一对父母，然后呢这另外一对父母呢跟他父母长得很像，然后但是他眼睛的部分呢是那个黑色的纽扣。这个另一个世界里的这个父母呢对他非常非常好，给他很多美食，而且呢给他很多的关注，让他觉得自己很受到尊重，很有很多的互动。可是到后来发现事情截然不是这么一回事。那我们今天要介绍这个主题呢是他背后的这个作者，就是 Neil Gaiman。All
right, well, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to start paragraph 1, and we'll talk more about our author and story.Okay, everybody, let's begin our first paragraph. The author of Coraline, Neil Gaiman, developed his passion for literature in libraries.
好，我们来看第一段。这一段呢，我们要介绍作者 Neil Gaiman 他本身的成长背景啦，还有他写书的这种灵感来源。他第一句话就讲到说 The author of Coraline, Neil Gaiman,developed his passion for literature in libraries. 好，先告诉你说 Coraline 这本书的作者呢叫 Neil Gaiman. 好，他呢非常非常厉害，写了非常非常多脍炙人口的作品哦。他怎么样去展现出慢慢培养出对这种写作文学的热情呢？原来是在图书馆里头的。
Okay, let's look at the word passion.Now, P-A-S-S-I-O-N has a pretty special pronunciation. This S-S, fa, S-H. Please write it down. Passion. And when we have passion for something, it actually means, 事实上它的意思是 you love something so much, it hurts you. It hurts you and you still love it so much, you can do it and you want to keep doing it.So you must really like it if it hurts and you still do it.
没错，所以 passion 这个字老师刚刚要提到说，事实上它的字根的意思是 pain 痛苦，甚至是你就算让你再痛，你还是很喜欢这个东西，所以真的是打从内心里的热爱。所以 passion 这个字的话，我们常常说 have passion for something， 好，对什么东西有非常非常大的热情。
The story Coraline makes me think of a very common English phrase, and the phrase is,The grass is always greener on the other side. And then some people will say on the other side of the fence. This phrase, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, means that you feel other people have a better situation or they have better things than you do. Your things are not as good as theirs. So you always want their thing. And Coraline has this unhappy situation.Her parents are busy, her food isn't good, she doesn't have enough attention, and then she goes to the other world, and the other parents are there, they pay attention to her, and they give her food, and she's like, wow, this is great. But we learn that maybe the grass is always greener on the other side, but maybe on that other side there are bad things too.
没错，老师刚刚提到一个非常重要的一个谚语哦，它叫做 The grass is always greener on the other side， 意思就是指呢，好像隔壁邻居家的草地就是比较绿。我们常常会想说国外的月亮比较圆啊，或者是说别人吃的西瓜比较甜啊，那种感觉对不对？总觉得别人过的生活好像比自己好很多。那在 Coraline 这个作品里头，你就会看到说，你看他爸妈呢没有时间顾他，然后呢他吃的食物又烂，可是到了另一个世界去的时候，觉得哇，好多东西都看似光鲜亮丽，但殊不知呢，在另一个世界里面也有很多很黑暗的，然后现实世界比较好，但是那边很黑暗的东西。
Okay, let's go back to our paragraph and look at paragraph 1, sentence 2. As a child, he often begged his parents to drop him off at the library on their way to work. Boy, there are lots of little prepositions and little notes in the words we have in this sentence.
这个句子里面有非常非常多这种小的细节，像是这种介系词啦等等的。你看 as a child 这个 as 当他还是孩子的时候 as 是表示身份，对不对？ He often begged his parents to drop him off. 他通常会恳求说爸妈 to drop him off at the library. 把我呢在这个图书馆里面放下来 drop somebody off 就是把他送到什么地方然后放他下车 at the library on their way to work. 所以爸妈呢在上班途中就把他放到图书馆这个地方让他在那个地方可以看书。
Okay, pick up your pencil. We have a few things to write. Let's look at the verb to beg. So we have B-E-G, G-E-D. Begged is the past tense, of course, here. And we have CVC. So we have our B, that's a consonant, 字音, E, that's a vowel, then G, that's another consonant. 我希望教这个 CVC grammar. This means 如果你要加过去式，你要加多一个最后个字母. So it's CVC. And 这个 ED 也有发一个 D, so begged. There's a lot of little grammar in this word. Let's look at drop off. 这个也是那个 CVC grammar. So if we make it the past tense, they dropped him off. The 拼法就是 D-R-O-P-P-E-D. And 这个 ED 会发 T. 好麻烦。
对呀，超级麻烦，怎么会这样子呢？只是稍微注意一下，因为想到 beg 个是有声的，就搭配有声的的，begged。但是如果说是 drop 是无声的，所以我们就配上无声的 T dropped， 这样子就比较好记了。
All right, let's go to our next sentence. There, 不是 at there, there he could spend an entire day reading books.
哇，好棒哦 There 在图书馆呢 He could spend an entire day 他可以整天呢 reading books 整天读书就好了
So we could say an entire day or a whole day. So a whole day is A space W-H-O-L-E. Don't forget that W there. And let's continue on. Some of his childhood inspirations included the Lord of the Rings and the Chronicles of Narnia series.
好，接下来就告诉你说了，他到底从哪里得到这些灵感来源呢 ？Some of his childhood inspirations. Inspirations 就是灵感的意思。如果平常在讲 inspiration 没有 s 的时候，它指的就是灵感这个概念。但如果加上 s 之后，就是灵感的来源啦。好，它包含了什么呢 ？Include The Lord of the Rings 大家熟悉的魔戒，还有另外一部作品 and the Chronicles of Narnia series 好，就是指这个纳尼亚传奇的系列
Okay, so pay attention to inspiration. I actually marked it with my highlighter because we will see another word that is like inspiration at the very end of our article. So we can draw a little arrow later. Let's look at the word chronicle, C-H-K, 写下来, and chron, C-H-R-O-N, means time. So these are like the stories in time of Narnia.Yeah,
没有错，所以这个 The Chronicles of Narnia 这个 Chronicle CH 的话就像 Chris 老师一样是发可的声音，这个 Chron 这个字的话 C-H-R-O-N 这个地方是跟时间有关，它是跟时间有关的传说故事。
All right, let's continue. Stories like these paved the way for him to become a writer with great imagination.
好，我们看最后这句话 Stories like these 像这样的故事呢 pave the way for him 帮他奠定起了什么什么的道路好，帮他准备好好 to become a writer with great imagination 好，他让他变成一个非常富有想象力的作家
That's right. Pave the way means make it possible. All right, let's stop here, take a quick break, and when we come back, we have our second paragraph.Hey friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 10 and 11. It's the book club, and we're talking about Coraline and our author, Neil Gaiman. Let's begin paragraph 2. Gaiman first worked as a journalist. A journalist is a reporter.
呀，所以这边的话，我们来看第二段的第一句话。老师刚刚提到的这个字 journalist 就是 reporter， 就是记者的意思。那我们的主角呢的 Neil Gaiman， 他本身刚开始的时候 Gaiman first worked as a journalist。 这个地方 worked 一样 ed 的话是发 t 的声音，因为 k 不发音，这样就很好记了。开始的时候他是一名记者哦。
Write down that T. Don't forget this. I always encourage my students, even like my older students, like just make it a habit because you'll see it, you'll say it better, and you'll always be thinking about that correct pronunciation. All right, let's continue. He hoped, he hoped that carrying out interviews or doing interviews and writing book reviews would help his writing career.
好，接下来看下一句话 He hoped that 好，就是他希望怎么样 carrying out interviews 啊，进行这种访谈啊、访问啊，还用 carry out 这样子的一个片语好来表达这样的概念。你也可以说 do interviews 没问题 and writing book reviews 好，这个 book reviews 就是书评，做这两件事情呢 would help his writing career 能够对他的写作生涯很有帮助。
So a book review or a review of any kind, this is a review is a noun. This is not like to review for a test. Review here means you tell someone what you think about a video, a movie, a book, whatever. And you'll see them in the newspaper, on websites, or there are lots of game reviews on YouTube. You've probably watched a bunch of them, and those are actually really good places to start like YouTubing if you're interested in them, because you probably have a lot to say about some things you really love. And you could take something old that you really know a lot about and make a review of it. And that, for me, I always encourage students that are interested in YouTube, try making a review of something you love.
Yeah, 没错，就是对你喜欢的事物好进行一些评论，不管是书评啦、影评啦，或是我很喜欢那个 The Legend of Zelda.
Sure, that's right. That's
没错，所以到话就变成是你可以先做一些喜欢的事情，你就说做这个游戏评论啊。如果说今天你喜欢做 YouTuber 的话，其实也是可以从你喜欢热爱的事物开始。
That's right. Now, let's look at the word career. Career means a job, but not just any job. This is a job for a big part of your life, and almost always there are opportunities or chances to grow.
没错，所以 career 跟 job 最大的差别 job 只是一份工作，但是 career 感觉上是职业生涯，你怎么样去规划你的职业生涯。如果说提到这个 career 这个字，我们常常会使用动词用 pursue a career， pursue 的拼法是 P-U-R-S-U-E pursue a career.
In the late 1980s, our author Neil Gaiman, he rose to fame with his comic book series, The Sandman, which won many awards in the industry and firmly established Gaiman's position as a writer. Okay, this is a long sentence with lots of little parts. Anthony, could you break this down for us?
Okay, 我们来看一下这个长长的句子哦。In the late 1980s, 好，就是在1980年代，不要忘记了这个 S 的话代表是10年，所以说在这边的话你会说 in the late 1980s, 就是在1980年的晚期呢 he rose to fame with his comic book series The Sandman. 好，这个 The Sandman 叫做睡魔。那这边他提到说呢，他的成名之作 He rose to fame with 后面接的作品，就代表他靠着这个作品一战成名了。这个作品呢叫做睡魔。后面又告诉你了，逗号 which won many awards in the industry. 在业界本身呢得到了很多很多的奖项。And firmly established Gaiman's position as a writer. 那也奠定了他呢是成为作家这个实至名归的那种感觉。
So I was too young to read The Sandman because Neil Gaiman writes very dark stories. But I remember hearing and wanting to buy his Batman Eternals stories. And that's how I got to know him, is through Batman. And I really didn't know about a lot of his earlier works just because of my age. And I will say that his Sandman series is still really well liked. It's really respected. And I think his reputation, how he rose to fame is because this comic book series was something very different at a time where comic books were kind of changing. They were becoming more adult.
没错没错，所以我后来去查了一下，它这个睡魔它本身是在1989年，也就是1980年代后期到1996年的时候，这段时间很长的一个这个漫画的作品。
All right, so an industry, this means a lot of companies that make the same thing. So Neil Gaiman became famous in the comic book industry. That means DC and Marvel and all the other comic book companies all said, wow, this guy's really good. That's the industry. Okay, let's continue on to our next sentence. Throughout his career, he has created a wide range of works, from novels and short stories to comics and screenplays.
好，我们来看一下这句话，他说 throughout his career， 在他整个这种职业生涯当中呢， throughout 就是整个的感觉。好 he has created a wide range of works， 这个地方请特别把 works 后面这个 s 给圈起来。平常的时候，如果你讲工作的话，我们只讲 work， I have a lot of work to do。 但这个地方如果讲的是作品，文学作品、艺术作品、绘画作品，讲到作品一件一件可数的时候，我们会加 s， 所以他创造了 a wide range of works， 就是很各式各样不同种类， range 本身就是一个范围很广的意思，所以他告诉你说哪些种类呢？ From novels 小说 and short stories 短篇故事 to comics 好漫画 and screenplays 好甚至还有剧本等等，都有好多好多种类。
That's right. So a wide range of works means a lot of different kinds of things. It's not uncountable, 不是 work, just like Anthony said, because this takes a long time to do. So a painting, a novel, a comic book, a movie, these take a very long time, so we call them works with an S. Let's continue on. Most of his stories show a blend of, a mix of different genres, often fantasy, horror, and mythology.
哇，这边有一个很难的字，你帮我先注意一下，就是 genre， G-E-N-R-E， 好 genre， 但是这边要加 s genres。好，在这里的话，我们看整句话 ，most of his stories， 它大部分的这种故事呢 ，show a blend of。blend 这个字的话，就是混合 mix 的意思。你可能在家里头有那个果汁机 blender， 对不对？就是把东西混在一起。好 ，a blend of different genres， 有不同这种文类的。好 ，different genres 这个字通常是用在电影啦，或是这种文学作品的时候，它有不同的文类，其实就是 types 的意思。Often fantasy 好奇幻的啦 ，horror 恐怖的啦 ，and mythology 神话故事。
Okay, so fantasy means like kings and queens. Horror means scary. 小心那个 O-R 发 E-R 倾斜下来. And mythology is a useful word for later this month when I work with Betty. So Betty and I will be talking about myths a little later. And the word myth, M-Y-T-H, 小心 Y 发短来 myth. A myth is a traditional story from a long time ago, and they usually explain like things in nature. Why is the world like this? Well, we don't know, but we have this story that helps us understand.
啊，原来如此，这种神话故事往往都告诉我们怎么样去理解我们的自然环境，为什么会发生这样的自然现象等等。
Okay, let's continue here. Just as Gaiman's love for reading was sparked by the large number of books in the library, you might also develop the same passion by exploring his amazing works.
啊 ，OK， 我们来看最后这句话咯。这句话也很长，对不对？前半段呢，他就说了 ，Just as Gaiman's love for reading was sparked by the large number of books in the library. 还记得第一段他提到说他喜欢这个魔戒，还有纳尼亚传奇，对不对？就像我们的作者 Neil Gaiman， 他本身对这种阅读的热情，好是被这些什么东西 the large number of books 所 sparked 啊 was sparked by 所引起的，所唤起的。这个 spark 本身是那种小火花的感觉，好勾起你的热情，激发了你的热情，这样的感觉。有很多很多不同的书籍呢，激发了我们主角 Gaiman 的阅读的热情。你呢 you might also develop the same passion，你呢，说不定也可以透过同样的方式 by exploring his amazing works， 好，去看看我们主角 Gaiman 所写这些这么多的旷世巨作，你也会激发出相同对文学、对阅读的热情。
Now, maybe you remember I told you to highlight the word inspiration because we'll see another word later. And sparked just means to inspire. It gives you like that mental energy to do something. Draw an arrow from sparked up to your highlighted word inspiration.And then after that, put your pencil down because we're done for today. But we'll be back later this month with more Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Anthony.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.